just saw the red light went on, and the red light goes on. That means we're on the Baco Motorsports Power Hour. I'm Mike Griffith, a longtime Bakersfield, California motorsports rider. This is our first segment. We generally talk about a lot of national stuff, throwing a little local stuff, and I've got Scott Schweitzer from the Bakersfield Speedway in here.
Came in early.
Two
segments today.
It's a good thing, two segments. I always like to have somebody in here to help me through this first one because it's more fun to have a little banter and talk about what's going on. But it was a big weekend of racing nationally, locally. It's the late March and it's racing season.
Absolutely, and NASCAR was in California, so that's cool. So in our home state, so it's always nice.
Yeah, and that's the one time they come.
Right.
It used to be two.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they'll be going to Vegas for twice.
Yeah, it's got that West Coast swing. So.
Start next year with Vegas 2 races. I think people in California like that anyway.
Yeah, they like to go.
Any excuse.
They'll spend any excuse to get over to Vegas
to win their college fund or something. But yeah, as you said, NASCAR came out there, ended their kind of their West Coast swing 3 races, and this is a picture of Fontana, which I guess didn't quite sell out, which was. It has been, and it's still a pretty good crowd, but not quite a sellout. So that was duly noted on social media circuits as usual.
But it looked good. I mean, I know some of the NASCAR races have been falling off attendance-wise, but it looked good when they showed the grandstands at California.
It looked good there, and it was California Speedway in Fontana. I guess it was the Kyle Larson show, and this is a shot from Sunday's race there in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series where he just dominated that race. And I was telling you earlier that like a dummy, I do a lot of things on Sunday. That's kind of my work day around the yard. And I came in about 7 o'clock, sit down, said, well, I'm going to watch the NASCAR race. And somebody forgot to hit record.
Well, like you said, Kyle Larson dominated. It was his weekend at California. Did great. The Xfinity race and then the Monster Energy Cup race. He did well.
Yeah, and that race started off not too well for Kevin Harvick at Bakersfield because right on the start there's a little chain reaction, a little slow up or something, and Harvick got into the rear of somebody else and it busted up the nose of his car right away, right?
Yeah, I had to go to pit lane, get some of that Durabond put on it. It's kind of funny looking because people thought that, even the commentators talked about it, they thought that it was plugging the radiator, but now that he's in that new Ford car that's got that big weird thing in the front, that's all they were covering was the grill, so the car was still able to breathe. Unfortunate accident. It looks like someone didn't take off at the start. 4, 5, 6 cars started chain reaction, and unfortunately Kevin was part of it.
And he got that, and then you end up losing a lap.
Yeah. And
it takes a long time.
Yeah, that big super speedway, those guys are, what they say, 200 miles an hour on different parts of the racetrack. So if you go on a green flag stop, you're going to lose a lap easy.
Lose a lap, and then it takes a while before you get that lap back. Yeah. You got to have a lot of yellows. And on that track, not a ton of yellows because it's really wide and you can go all over the place and avoid a lot of stuff.
Well, they do have yellows. It seemed like it was in the last 10 laps of the race. They had plenty of yellows. But, once you get down, I think one time he was 2 laps down, so tough to make up 2 laps.
You come back from 2 laps and come back and get a 13th place finish, and you say you passed like 3 or 4 cars at the white flag, at the checkered flag.
Coming to the checkered flag, it's kind of a group of cars, and he was able to drop down low and pass a few cars. So I thought a 13th place finish is not bad for what he went through and the kind of day he had.
Yeah, and those type of days where it starts off bad, you better make as many points as you can because it's all about saving points at this time of the season, and you want to get those points. And Kyle Larson, what a run this kid has had! A lot of second place finishes. Finally
cracked it.
Gets his first Cup win there. 243 points to lead the way. Chase Elliott, another youngster up there at 214, and you're seeing this youthful trend.
Yep.
This year in NASCAR. Martin Truex Jr. is there at 205. He's been around for a while, as is Brad Keselowski and Joey Logano hanging there. And I think Kevin's dropped back to around 9th in points. The parentheses, once again, those are bonus points that are in that will carry over into the race for the championship. at the end of the season.
Yeah, Kyle's on a roll. And on a side note, he's in Placerville tonight running the World of Outlaw race tonight. Since he's in California, he stayed and he's racing Placerville
Up to
tonight.
Placerville. That's a little tight track.
Yeah, it's a tight track, and it's that World of Outlaw, the sponsored by Brad Sweet puts it on,
right?
Which is his brother-in-law, and so it's gonna be a good show tonight up in Placerville, and him and Rico are teammates in a World of Outlaw car tonight.
Well, there you go. That is big. They ought to have a packed house up in
Placerville.
They do
already,
anyway.
Yeah, they said reserved seats were sold out last week, but still general admission. But thought it was cool that he wins California, sweeps the weekend in Fontana, then stays in California and hits a World of Outlaw race before he takes off to the next Cup race.
And that's good. We can go ahead and show this next slide. This is from the Xfinity Series on a Saturday, which shows just pick your lane.
Yeah, multiple grooves. That's pretty cool to
grooves
see.
At their track, using it all at the track, and as we said, crowded pits for certain there. And once again, the Kyle Larson show. I believe that's his son's name is Owen, but he's got his son in his hand there and putting a winner sticker on the car because after you win, you get to put a little sticker on them, and it's always a good thing to do. Casey Mears, after 12 years in the Cup Series, kind of lost his ride, and he's still got a sponsor, Geico, so he's going to run, I believe, 12 races in the Xfinity Series. This is his first one. Did not qualify well, got up into the top 10, then kind of fell back and finished 14th. Not a great day, not a horrible day. Not a good day for Ryan Reed, who's been running really well, and I didn't change the slide. That's at Fontana. A 15th place finish for him, so middle of the pack. But there were 31 cars, I think, on the lead lap or something like that. It was just phenomenal. But Elliott Sadler, a longtime veteran of the series, leading the way. William Bryan, just now, Ryan Reed has dropped into fourth, but those 5 points, those 5 is a race win, which means from Daytona, which means he's in the chase no matter what.
He's having a great year. Be interesting to see how he finishes this off.
And before we get to this, but the Cup Series goes to Martinsville, a short track, this weekend, and the trucks will run with them as their companion series. The Xfinity Series has a week off, and then they go to the big track at Texas on April 8th.
Wow.
So
totally different deal at Martinsville.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see all these cars at Martinsville.
They've been racing all these big speedways and all this, and now they're going to go to a tight bull ring. So totally different outcome, probably.
So totally different. we'll see what transpires.
Get the body guys will have something to do after the weekend.
They're going to be busy next week for sure. But then on this, the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West rolled into Bakersfield on Thursday night at KCRP. That's was 4 races in 8 days. It started the Saturday before in Tucson, and Todd Gilliland, last year's champion, was dominant at Bakersfield. He won the pole, took his time, didn't lead in the first 75 laps. After the halfway break, he came through, took the lead quickly, and then nobody had anything for him. But a lot of side-by-side racing there. He went down to Irwindale for the two 100-lap races on Saturday night, won both of those, so he won 3 out of 4 races. But
got a bonus or something.
Well, like a $10,000 bonus for finish. But the big bonus was if you could win all 4 races, it would have been $100,000. Wow. And he had the lead late at Tucson and lost it to Chris Eagleston. Chris Eagleston won. And that Tucson race was the difference between $90,000 difference. And if I was going to put money on who would have done it, it would have been Todd.
Yeah, that kid's phenomenal. Got a great future ahead of him and a tough competitor. So yeah, that's a shame that it's kind of interesting. In the dirt world, they have a big race where they put that bonus out if you win so many races, and it's tough. I mean, you got to be perfect, and it's a shame you missed it.
To win 4 straight to start, and that's a quarter of the season they got rid of in 8 days.
Yeah,
so I think those guys have a bit of break. But Todd is for those who don't know, his grandfather and father is out of Southern California, the Anaheim area, and they both raced up here in the old Mesa Marin. Both won races here at Mesa Marin, so he's a 3rd-generation driver to race out here.
Got a great future
Kern County, and he's running the East Series as well this year. And I would expect that we might see him on Xfinity Series next year. You just got to find your spot, find a way in.
Not
It's
very
not
many
easy.
seats available in there.
No.
A lot of talent all over the United States, and when seats come available, it's tough. So he's got a great
seats
shot.
and it takes some money, and
Well, yeah,
hopefully they got the right people
come with
in
that
place
checkbook
there.
behind
So,
it.
and then that's not all that was going on. Irwindale had 2 K&N 100 lap races, and nestled in between them was a 100 lap Spears SRL Southwest Tour race, and it just had to be a phenomenal night of racing. And we've got a picture of Derek Thorne here. He won the pole down there, set a track record 17.272 seconds, but he didn't win the race. You know, Thorne won the 30 grand for the winter shootout here at KCRP in February. Gets down there, he led early, he got the lead, and then his car wasn't quite as good. Bobby Hodges, who hadn't won since I think 2011, came away with the win. Thorne was second, and Willie Allen out of the Nashville area is in the Richardson family car, the one that Brian drives and Eric drives sometimes, the Rich Pack car. He had a third place finish. All 3 of them led late in the race. There was apparently a lot of 3-wide racing, and by all accounts I saw on social media said it was a heck of a tour race down there. So
yeah, that's a big weekend racing down there in Irwindale. I seen they had quite a bit going on.
yeah, a good weekend there, and so you can't beat that. I mean, but so much racing in just a handful of days, and there was a little racing across the pond as well. Probably don't watch Formula One, but I came home and it was the Australian Grand Prix, so I had it recorded. I was watching and catching up, and Ferrari guys, Ferrari cap has to be happy because Ferrari has suffered greatly the last couple of years, especially last year with Mercedes just beating them left and right. And so Sebastian Vettel comes away with the win with Mercedes over Lewis Hamilton. It wasn't even close. Pulled away, and then Mercedes came in third, Ferrari came in fourth. So obviously it looks like there might be some competition in F1 this year, which has all the F1 people giddy with joy, especially the Ferrari fans.
Well, that's some high-tech racing. I mean, I don't watch much F1, but just their steering wheels alone in those cars are amazing. Just everything is controlled right off that steering wheel.
It's,
So
it's pretty
it's
amazing
high-tech.
racing.
I mean, it seems like the guy that wins is the guy that's got the best computer guy to control his car or something. I mean, it's crazy.
It may be that. They go to they don't race again until the 8th of April in China for the Chinese Grand Prix. But we're going to take a break here. We're going to be back with Scott Schweitzer for the Bakersfield Speedway segment of the show in a few minutes.